We're on the air in 5, 4.
Welcome to the Equine Country Kitchen. I'm Chef Maura.
And I'm Chef Lindsey, and today we'll be talking about equine nutrition and teaching you some of our favorite treats for your favorite equines, including beef pulp casserole, bran mash stew, and Odie pony treats.
But what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process of taking in food to provide the body with energy for performance, growth, and repair. This is essential for your horse's performance and will be a key factor in success or failure. Over the course of this program, we have to further your knowledge in equine nutrition and its importance in good health, performance, growth, and repair.
So first, let's talk about the basics of nutrition. Horses need 6 essential nutrients in their diet, including water, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals.
First, we have protein. Protein is important for horses' coats and for good muscle development and extended energy. Horses have different protein requirements based on their age, workload, and stage of life. It is important to check these when you're feeding your horse. Horses need approximately 1.5 pounds of protein per day and can have all their needs met through grazing and grass hay alone.
Carbohydrates consist of sugars, starches, and fibers. Sugars and starches provide for the horse's short-term energy, and fibers provide for the long-term energy needed for work and tissue repair. Hay, forage, and grains provide good sources of carbohydrates, and too much or too little of the wrong kinds of carbohydrates can lead to weight and health problems. It's important to take into account your horse's specific needs when putting together a feed plan.
Fats are important for healthy tissue development, weight maintenance, energy, and a luxurious coat. It is important to have a balance between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids as they provide different benefits to the body. Depending on the horse, fat supplementation may not be needed. When you use supplements with fats, you can use oils or rice brands, which will help build up this weight.
Zinc, potassium, iodine, selenium, these are all examples of minerals. Minerals are critical to the absorption and production of vitamins and affect everything from bone and eye development to mood regulation and disease prevention. In some places, the soil is deficient in some minerals, so they must be supplemented. For example, in Oregon, some places the soil is deficient in selenium, so some people have to supplement their horses with this.
There are 2 basic vitamin groups, fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins are not stored in the body but are excreted. However, fat-soluble vitamins are stored in the body and must be fed with caution. These vitamins are A, D, E, and K. As toxicity can occur with these, make sure that you're feeding the right amount.
Last is water. Hydration is important for thermoregulation and digestion. Horses need about 10 to 12 gallons of water per day, and the exact amount will depend on how much of their feed is dry feed and how long they're out on moist grass. You always want to make sure that there's fresh, clean water available to your horse.
Make sure to feed your horse by weight and not volume. Horses need about 2% of their body weight in food per day. For a 1,000-pound horse, this is about 20 pounds of feed per day. And make sure to contact your vet before changing their feed.
Now that we know a little bit about the basics of nutrition, let's gallop on over to the kitchen.
Our first recipe today, we're going to talk about beef pulp casserole. Beef pulp is low in crude protein and high in easily digestible fibers. It is relatively inexpensive and used in many commercial feeds. Before feeding, you want to soak, and make sure that you soak for several hours.
Soak it with either cold or hot water. Hot water soaking is faster, but it can deplete some of the nutrients found, so we prefer cold water soaking. Beef pulp is very easy to chew, so it's great for those horses with dental problems. It's also great for horses that have a hard time maintaining weight, and because of its high fiber content, it's great for those horses with gastric ulcers.
Hey Lindsay, why did the horse chew with his mouth open?
I don't know.
Because he had bad stable manners.
Here's an example of what it would look like after it's cooked. Next, let's move on to a bran mash stew that your horse will nicker over. Bran mash can provide, or wheat bran can help relieve constipation and help with mild colic. It also can help get fluids into a horse who's not drinking enough.
To make bran mash stew, make sure that you add enough hot water to 48 cups of red wheat bran. As it's relatively low in vitamins and minerals, hot water soaking is completely fine. You don't need to worry about it depleting any of the nutrients. So we like to add things such as molasses, a little bit of peppermint extract, apples, or carrots.
We do not want to feed this as a daily part of the horse's diet, as this can cause a nutritional imbalance over time, but it's a great occasional treat.
So molasses is high in iron, and that's why we add it. So molasses helps build strong red blood cells, and the B vitamin is necessary for many things, like good neurological function. It contains healthy amounts of calcium for bone development and magnesium for sound muscles. It also contains important trace minerals such as calcium and selenium.
Peppermint can help soothe the horse's stomach, and carrots provide high levels of vitamin A, necessary for good vision.
Make sure it looks the consistency of oatmeal.
Apples contain an abundance of vitamins, dietary fibers, and phytonutrients, as well as many trace minerals such as potassium and phosphorus. As they say, an apple a day keeps the veterinarian away. Hey Maura, I have a joke for you.
What's your joke, Lindsey?
Why was the horse in bad shape?
I don't know. Why was he?
Because he was on a stable diet.
Oh. Well, so once this is ready, you want to let it sit for a little while to make sure that it's completely absorbed and cooked, just like we would for oatmeal. It looks like we need a little bit more water. Keep stirring. So next, we're going to put this to the side, and we're going to make some Odie Pony treats. These are sure to be a favorite in your barn, as our horses have all test tasted them. What you're going to need for this is apples, carrots, salt and sugar, flour, oats, vegetable oil, and molasses. So first we're going to add some flour. I'm going to add the dry ingredients first, opposite of making cookies. Add the oats.
Oats are high in fiber and they can help stabilize blood sugar levels. They also contain many trace minerals.
So next we're going to add some molasses to these two ingredients. And like we said before, molasses is great for many things, but it's also low glycemic, which is good because it stabilizes the insulin levels.
Vegetable oil can keep the horse's coat shiny, the skin soft, and the joints functioning properly. It also contains omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, and twice the amount of calories as carbohydrates and protein.
You want to mix this all together. You can always add a little bit of molasses if there's not enough in here.
It helps get things to stick together.
So what are we going to do, Lindsey, when it's all ready?
We're going to make small balls and put them on a cookie sheet, and then we're going to put it in the oven, preheated to 350 degrees for 15 minutes.
Do you have a finished product? Oh, put in the sugar and the salt.
These are what they will look like when they're done. We have a few that you guys can take home after the show.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can store them in the fridge or just in an airtight container for about 7 days, or else you can throw them in the freezer and they'll last a little longer.
Maura, I have another joke.
Okay, what's your joke?
What's the horse's favorite computer?
I don't know, what is it?
A Macintosh.
Oh goodness. Well, we have a few emails from our viewers, and the first one is from Andy. He's from Texas. He's looking to lose some weight to impress a certain filly in the barn. He's 8 years old and he wants our help, Lindsey. What can we do for him?
Well, I tell Andy to take most of the grain out of his diet, but add a multivitamin, because we want to make sure he's still getting those nutrients that he needs. He can also cut back a little bit on the hay and pasture time, but we still want to make sure that he has something to nibble on. Horses don't have gallbladders, and so digestive fluids are always being produced and sent to the horse's stomach. It wouldn't be good for Andy if he lost some weight but got ulcers.
Thank you, Lindsey.
I also have an email.
Oh, you do?
This one's from Electra in Sherwood, Oregon. She's an inventor, and she's looking to gain some muscle and keep weight during hard workouts.
Well, awesome. Well, we can help Electra. First, we're going to tell her to add a little bit of beet pulp to her diet for some extra energy. We're also going to add some oils for the fats and a high-calorie grain, since grain takes up less room in the horse's relatively small stomach. It's really hard to maintain your horse's weight by feeding just more hay. And we can also add a commercial supplement such as Cool Calories, which is a high-fat and high-calorie supplement.
On today's episode of the Equine Country Kitchen, we talked about the importance of good nutrition for the healthy horse and what some of those nutritional requirements are. We showed you how to make some of our favorite treats to keep your horses happy and their diets well balanced.
A well-nourished horse will be healthy and happy and will give you many years of good performance. If you are unsure what special nutritional requirements your horse might have, please consult your veterinarian. And never change your horse's diet suddenly without first discussing it with your vet. We hope that you enjoyed learning a few new recipes today to share with your equine friends, and that you join us next time when we explore the secrets of cooking with hay.
If you liked this episode, you can watch it again on our DVD. Favorite episodes of the Equine Country Kitchen and our cookbook, Feeding Your Equine Friends, is also available for purchase. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors.
Our references were the 4-H Horse Project Guide,
Equine Science by Jean T. Griffiths,
Chronicle of the Horse by Molly Sorge,
AboutYourHorse.com,
and The Feed Room by Neutrina. Thank you all for joining us today on the Equine Country Kitchen. Now that we're off the air, we're happy to take your questions.